Something historic is happening in the American labor market. For decades, workers have been undervalued, overworked, and underpaid. But today, a quiet revolution is underway. Workers are pushing back. They're walking off the job, demanding better pay and better treatment. They're even forming unions in places where that hasn't happened in decades. So what's driving this change? How big is this movement? And what does it mean for the future of work? From coast to coast, workers are making their voices heard. In cities like Seattle, carpenters have walked off the job. In Maryland, bus drivers are striking. And in Alabama, coal miners are picketing. They're not alone. Across the country, workers are demanding a better deal. At companies like Kellogg, Nabisco, and Amazon, workers aren't just asking for higher wages, they're demanding dignity, safety, and a say in their working conditions. But why now? Dr. Kate Bond, an expert on labor markets, says that the pandemic exposed a dangerous imbalance. For too long, essential labor was treated as disposable. Meanwhile, corporate profits hit record highs. But that's changing now. Workers have options and they're using them. Our research shows that over the past 10 years, corporate profits have soared by 64%. But wage growth for typical production and service workers hasn't kept pace with inflation. Professor Lawrence Mitchell of the Economic Policy Institute notes that for nearly all workers, wages haven't kept up with productivity gains since the 1970s. He adds, the trend would be worse but for the fact that the federal minimum wage was raised from $7.25 to $10.10 an hour in 2009 and then adjusted for inflation each year after that. But that's only part of the story. During the pandemic, essential workers like grocery clerks, home care workers, and delivery drivers put themselves on the line every day. While many employers touted their commitment to frontline workers, the reality was often quite different. Many workers reported unsafe conditions, a lack of personal protective equipment, and insufficient pay. Today's labor shortage is forcing employers to take notice. Amazon, for example, is raising its minimum wage to $22 an hour. That's double what it was just 5 years ago. Beyond economics, workers want more than just higher paychecks. They want more say in their working conditions, more respect from their bosses, and more support for their well-being. Business as usual is no longer acceptable. Today's workers are looking for more from their employers, and they're willing to walk away if their needs aren't met. But some may ask, is this just a temporary trend or something more permanent? We believe this is a long-awaited sea change, a correction to a balance of power that has been skewed for too long. For decades, labor power has been weakened. Since the 1980s, union membership has declined, safety standards have slipped, and wages have stagnated for most workers. Today's actions are the latest chapter in a long history of workers standing up for their rights. In the 1930s, for example, the labor movement was at its peak. Workers staged sit-down strikes, formed unions, and picketed for better treatment. They knew that when profit depended on labor, employers must partner with workers. That truth hasn't changed, it's just coming home again. We're seeing this in industries that have traditionally been non-union, such as retail and food services. In recent months, workers at Starbucks stores across the country have voted to join the Starbucks Workers Union. That's a big deal because historically, Starbucks has been anti-union. But today's workers are organizing and winning. So what does this mean for the future of work? As the power dynamic shifts, we may see new standards emerge, new partnerships between labor and capital. Here at the WRCA, we believe that this is a positive development. When workers are treated fairly, when they have a say in their working conditions, and when they feel valued, everyone benefits. That's why we're proud to stand with workers who are standing up for their rights. If you or someone you know is being misclassified, underpaid, or denied benefits, visit our website and learn how to take action. Together, we can make sure that every worker is treated fairly and that every workplace is safe and respectful. The content is made possible by viewers like you. Please consider making a donation to support our work.